100% honesty, I waited until these were done to start the video, mozzarella sticks. That is what I'm talking about. That game right there, exactly what I'm talking about. What this team is capable of. The team that won the Stanley Cup 6 months ago, even though a third of them had not played a playoff game with us. The Vegas Golden Knights won against the New York Islanders 5-2 in a really good game. The first period was very similar to the games in the last 10 game stretch, but we came out of that tied 1-1, so you know, good. The second period, it was like the second half of the second period, and then the third period is exactly what I'm talking about. Before we get too far down that road, let's backtrack a little bit. Jack Eichel, you absolute sniper. Beautiful passing for a beautiful goal. Petro collects the puck on the side, sends it up to Marchessault, touch pass over to Eichel, who rifles it past Sorokin to make it 1-0 Vegas. And then here's where we get tricky. This gosh darn lighting, I swear. So there's a chance for the Islanders where Lee is like 100% sure it's in, but nothing happens. Goal isn't called. Puck goes up the ice with Marchessault, who sends one on and was this close to scoring a second goal to make it a 2-0 lead for Vegas. It doesn't end up happening, and I'm super grateful for that. It's weird, I think it's the first time I've ever been grateful that Vegas didn't score on a chance, but because eventually the buzzer sounds, which means they're looking at it in review. And that usually means that it's a good goal, and so the refs look at it, it's clearly in. Barzal like banked one off of Thompson's blocker, and it hit the top of the net inside and bounced back out, which, you know, physics-wise, that's just hilarious. But, so it's a tie game, 1-1, but that would have been really rare instance in hockey where you have a 2-0 lead that gets reversed to a 1-1 tie. Because the Islanders would have scored, that goal from Marchessault wouldn't have counted, and so it would have, but he didn't score that, so it's a 1-1 tie, which, you know, it's a good goal. We enter the second period, and then Pavel Skorofiev gets another one in back-to-back games with goals. After he kept this play alive, sends it up, Stone around the net, sends it over to Stevenson as Pavel Skorofiev just creeps up to Sorokin, just, you know, I'm not here. And Stevenson with a perfect pass for Dorofiev to just be able to tap this one in. 2-1 Vegas. And then, so this is the tail end of the second period. Up to this point, it had been the same thing that we've been watching for the last 10 games, where Vegas is just not able to really produce much offensive pressure. The other team is far outplaying us. And then Skorofiev scores, and it's like a light switch. Wah, a minute and a half later, curls from going around the boards and just rips it, and Kolesar is parked in front of Sorokin, left all alone, and there's not a power play on this. I don't know why he was left all alone in front of Sorokin, but completely shields his eyes, not able to see this as Wah sends it flying in. It's reviewed for goaltender interference. It's challenged by Lane Peterson, the head coach for the Islanders. I get it, kind of, because goaltender interference is so subjective that I would have believed it either way this was called. Kolesar and Sorokin make slight contact. His foot goes into the crease and hits his pad after the puck's already behind him, so that shouldn't. Like, I would have thought that that was a good goal because Kolesar's outside of the crease for 99% of it, and the only time it's not is when the puck's already behind Sorokin. But like, you know, who the frick knows what at this point. And so entering the third is 3-1 Vegas. And then the third period, what is wrong? I did not get enough sleep. So then the third period starts, and it's just absolute, like, the Stanley Cup champion Vegas Golden Knight hockey from there on. Jack Eichel on the power play as it's dying, which it's the same power play because the head coach of the Islanders challenged and failed. Good goal, by the way, I don't think I said that. Tail end of that power play, Jack Eichel's able to snipe this thing. Absolutely lethal shot from Eichel. And it zips in past Sorokin to make it 4-1 Vegas. Matt Martin of the Islanders comes back and battles, and this is, I'm just gonna say it now because that's the last goal that Logan Thompson allows, but he played unbelievably solid tonight. Given the streak that he's on, his confidence and where that's at, he had a really good game. Better, I would say, than even the game against the Kings. He made a fantastic couple of glove saves, windmill saves, and so did Marc-Andre Fleury, which congrats to him on tying Patrick Waugh for second all time and doing it in amazing fashion. Not the point, not even the second time. Like, he's consistently been a really good goalie for us and has had a slump for the past 10 games, but that's it. It's 10 games. If a skater goes 10 games without scoring a goal, you don't think, oh wow, he's not worth it, trade him. Exactly the type of game that Thompson is 100% capable of doing consistently. And it's good to see him do that. So the 2 goals that he did allow, it was a fluky one from Barzal off of his blocker and in, and the back, it like banked off of him and in. And then this Matt Martin one was a rebound attempt that he made a couple of good stops immediately preceding this. However, the Islanders' comeback idea is killed very quickly because Nicholas Waugh, I almost said Patrick because I brought up Fleury and now that's all, nets his second of the night. I mean, my thought process was, please, please, please do this more often. Make sure this isn't a one-up, because the last time we scored goals like this was that Montreal game where it came in bunches and it was a 6-5 shootout style game. And then after that we had a huge slump. So please, this game, not a one-up. Bjornfot makes his debut with us. This is his second game of the season. The only game he got in with the Kings was the season opener for them. And then Lukas Cormier making his NHL debut and got his first NHL career point in this game on the Eichel goal, because he moved the puck, swept out to the left side, which left Jack Eichel alone on the right on that power play, and he sent the pass over and Eichel had space and time to be able to zip that one home. So it's really, really good to see what a puck-moving defenseman is able to do to be able to create that kind of space that we've been missing without Shea Theodore. And he played phenomenally. He was outplaying the rest of our D-core. There was a point where Nick Hague had 2 whiffs on passes that led to the Martin goal, which it was not good. He whiffed on the pass, giving the puck all alone. Islanders then had a basically 2-on-1 where the first one didn't get the first goal, but Martin pounded home the rebound directly because of Nick Hague's turnover. And then the next time he's on the ice, he does the exact same thing where he whiffs on the puck, and then it leads to basically breakaway for the Islanders immediately after, because he's in his own defensive zone. So not a great game from Hague, but it honestly was just a 5-minute sequence. At that point I said to bench him, but just because for the rest of the game, because there wasn't much time left and it was just whatever. Cormier had a really, really solid NHL performance debut. He outplayed, as in like minutes wise, most of our defensemen too. Let me double check. He was on the first power play unit. He had more minutes than Pietrangelo and Martinez. He had 3 more seconds than Hague. It was the same. It was like 19 minutes for all 4 of them, but still, he technically had more ice time than Petro, Martinez, and Hague. And Bjornfot. McNabb was the only one with more than all of them. And I'm not trying to diss any of these other guys' performances. I'm just trying to bring to light how good of a debut that was from a defenseman. The second Waugh goal, because I haven't explained it yet, Waugh creates a turnover in the Islanders' defensive end and is able to pass it over to Kolazar, who has a wide open chance in the slot, but Sorokin makes the save. The Vegas Golden Knights collect the rebound and Waugh skates around with it, turns, and similar to his goal in the second period, he just turns and rips it, and this one just trickles past Sorokin and in. So it's 5-2 Vegas, and they close it out with that as a win. That's the game that they just need to do that. And they did that with a bunch of new people. Denisenko is still in because our injury list is insane. Like, I know injuries are just a thing that happens. Bedard got injured and on a clean hit. Yay! William Karlsson is week to week, apparently. Ben Hutton, Caden Korzak, Shea Theodore, Danil Miramanov is still out. And so we've had the opportunity to claim off of waivers both Denisenko and Bjornfot, who are now playing for the Golden Knights. And so we're probably gonna lose some people to waivers. It's just good to see that the Vegas Golden Knights are still the Vegas Golden Knights. The strategy is sound, even with players just coming in. That next player in mentality has been really, really good. Resiliency, yeah! Oh, that game was a breath of fresh air. Oh man, yeah. But that's gonna be it for Game 40's Nightly Review. Thank you so much for watching and have a good night.